Dogs are not just our pets. They are our loyal companions, best friends, and when we need them, our life-saving protectors. Whether through bravery, intuition, or intelligence, there are stories from around the world about dogs saving their owners' lives. And humans alive today because of a heroic dog that was there to help. I hope you enjoy these stories about furry friends who became real-life heroes. And for some extra fun, find our mascot Ned hiding throughout the video. Buddy indeed. Ben got his German Shepherd Buddy when he was a 6-week-old puppy, and since then, he has saved Ben's life twice and saved almost everything Ben owns. I'll call that good investment. In Alaska, there's a lot of open wilderness, and in his free time, Ben liked to go fishing and spend time with Buddy out in nature. But one time, they weren't the only ones out fishing. Twice, bears decided to try to catch some lunch alongside them. Ben didn't see the bears coming up, but Buddy did. And both times, he chased the bears away. But a house fire made Buddy famous and won him the Silver-Plated Dog Bowl Award. One day, Ben was working on his vehicle when a spark ignited some clothes and then caught the workshop on fire. He called for help, but the GPS on the trooper's car couldn't find the house amongst all the forest back roads. Buddy ran to the main road and found the troopers. After he got their attention, he ran ahead of the car, leading them through the maze of roads to the house. Just in time, too. With the police on the scene, they were able to get help and put out the fire right before it reached the main house, saving all of Ben's stuff. Intuition. We often talk about people who have a hunch or a gut feeling when it comes to certain things, but humans aren't the only ones with that sixth sense. Dogs have it too. We don't know how they know, but dogs are often seen acting strangely days before an earthquake hits or even barking at things around the house that we don't understand. Sometimes our furry friends' superpowers can help save both of our lives. In 2011, there was a 9.0 earthquake off the coast of Japan. An 83-year-old Tamiya Kanuma was sitting in her house. The lights flickered and the house shook a little, but that was it. After her Shih Tzu Badu demanded to be taken out and they got outside, Badu demanded they walk in a different direction than they normally did. Badu led Tammy to a nearby hill and started walking quickly up it. Badu kept pulling on the leash even when the 83-year-old woman wanted to stop and rest. Minutes later, a tsunami hit and their house was swallowed by a wall of mud. But thanks to Badu, she and Tammy were safe on the side of the hill. Organized crime. In Houston, Texas, a man named Jose Hernandez was inside a bank withdrawing a large amount of money. The teller gave him a large amount of money in an envelope and he put it in his pocket. A spotter was in the bank and messaged his accomplice outside to follow Jose and steal the money after he got out of his car. Unfortunately, Jose had to park down the street from his house and walk. As he did, he heard his neighbor's dog, Ace, barking behind him. Ace was a little dog with a big bark that he usually reserved for people he didn't like. And he was a very good judge of character. Ace ran up to the robber and stood between him and Jose, who had not turned around yet. Feeling rushed, the robber ran up and grabbed Jose, pulling the envelope of money out of his pocket, and pushed the 55-year-old to the ground. Ace began biting the robber's ankle and chasing him until he jumped into a friend's car and drove away. Fortunately, Jose had transferred most of his money to his wallet. And since Ace rushed the robbery, they only got an envelope with a few $100s in it. Frozen. A 2-year-old abused dog with serious injuries was saved by the Delta Animal Shelter in Escanaba, Michigan. What nobody knew then was that she will do some rescuing on her own one day. 1 year later, now in her forever home, the normally shy Peanut was acting very strangely. It was March with freezing temperatures and snow on the ground, but Peanut wanted to go outside. and she barked and ran around the house until she got her way. As soon as the door opened, she ran to a field behind the house, stopped at a dish, and looked back at her owner. When her owner finally caught up, he found a little girl freezing in the ditch. If they hadn't found her, she would have died from exposure. When the ambulance got there, the weak girl was only able to say one word, "Doggy." The girl made a quick recovery in the hospital. To this day, nobody knows how Peanut knew the little girl was in the ditch, but they know the formerly abused rescue puppy saved someone else from abuse and neglect. Sheep herding is dangerous. In the western Indian state of Gujarat, a man and his dog were grazing his flock of sheep when he heard them become very agitated and making noises he had never heard before. 25-year-old Bhavesh Hamir Bharwad turned and saw 3 lions stalking. His instinct was to run back towards them and try to help them, but when he got there, he realized there was nothing he could do against 3 lions. So he started yelling to try and distance them and stop the attack. The yelling worked, kind of. Hearing the yelling, the lions did stop attacking the sheep, but they turned their attention to the shepherd instead. Seeing the lions turn towards his owner, Bharwad's dog started barking, and that called the attention of the villagers. A large group quickly gathered, so the lions fled. Bharwad suffered only minor injuries to his back and arm where the lions had hit him with his paws. The hero dog escaped without a scratch. Lighting, a dog, and Wellington boots. Ian Thomas, mayor of Redruth, Cornwall in England, was on a morning walk with his dog Monty carrying his metal water bowl. He suddenly felt an explosion in his head and then heard Monty yelp. He woke up on the ground with Monty licking his face and nuzzling him. They have both just been hit by a bolt of lightning. Ian got to his feet for a moment but fell down again, so the only thing he could do was wrap his arms around Monty. His dog then pulled Ian 1 block to their home. Once there, Ian stumbled into the house confused and in pain. His wife thought it was a stroke or a heart attack, so she took him to the hospital. After a series of tests, the diagnostics was that he has been hit by lightning. And if it wasn't for his dog Monty and his rubber Wellington boots that lessened the shock, Ian may not have survived. Monty and Ian both made a full recovery and they're back to enjoying their morning walks. But now, Ian brings a plastic water bowl for Monty. Live every day. North of Austin, Paul Hurton and his golden retriever Yogi spend lots of time outdoors, walking, swimming in the river, or any other excuse to be outside. On a particular day, Paul was mountain biking his regular route as Yogi ran alongside. Unfortunately, as Paul left the trail, his tire hit a curb and he flew headfirst without a helmet. He landed on his head, which knocked him unconscious. When he woke, Paul was having trouble breathing and couldn't move. He kept repeating, "Go get to Yogi," hoping he would go for help. Yogi didn't want to leave his owner, but after about 45 minutes, he finally ran off to get help. He quickly found some of Ben's neighbors and brought them back to help. They called an ambulance and rushed Paul to the hospital, but he was permanently paralyzed. Paul said he knows he wouldn't have lived if it wasn't for Yogi, and he will be forever grateful. He also doesn't look at his wheelchair as a limitation, but as an adjustment. The Humane Society recognized Yogi as the Valor Dog of the Year award in 2011. And today, over 5 years after the accident, Paul still leads a very active life with Yogi by his side. Paul has gone sailing, kayaking, and hang gliding, and even scuba diving. Yogi is now a senior dog, but has never left his side, and the pair have even started a daily routine of singing at the piano together. Man's best friend indeed. The ultimate watchdog. Outside Kalamazoo, Michigan, a mother was walking to her garage to get a shovel for some yard work with her 14-month-old Stanley waddling behind her. Or was he? While in the garage, she realized Stanley wasn't with her. She looked around the yard for a minute but couldn't find him, nor could she find their 4-year-old black lab, Bear. As she looked towards the pool, she saw her son floating motionless. But as she ran to the edge, she saw that Bear had jumped into the pool right after Stanley fell in. He then balanced the 14-month-old into his back to keep him above water. The boy wasn't breathing through and her cell phone had no service, so they got in the car and rushed to the fire department. On the way, the phone got reception and they were able to call the police for help. Stanley started spitting up water and he was revived. At the hospital, the boy received a clean bill of health and was released the same day. All thanks to Bear, the best watchdog in the world. Dogs are heroic in so many ways. Not only are they our emotional support, but have also saved people's lives. Their agility, intelligence, and intuition are worth remarking. Anyone who has a dog will say how much better life is with our furry companions. My little cuddly bug Chihuahua warned me that my mom was in danger. What is the most impressive thing your dog has done? Let us know in the comments below. Thank you for watching, and until next time. Remember to click the bell icon after you subscribe so you can get instant notifications of all our new videos.